I have got an accessory for you guys today that I am really excited about. Now, most accessories, you know exactly what you're getting and what it does. There is very little room for imagination. For example, an automatic trunk install on a Model 3 will always just open the trunk. But today's accessory allows you to use your imagination and set it up to be really however you want. You might even call this accessory more of a modification. So what is this mystery accessory? It's sexy buttons by this company called Enhance. So the idea with these is that you place these around your car and assign different tasks to them, tasks you want more readily accessible. There's also an app that controls the buttons and acts like a hub, giving you stats on your car, and we'll take a look at all that later. So the question that I think most people will have while considering these is, will this be something you actually use, or are these just kind of a gimmick that sounds fun, but in reality you'd never actually use them? Are these actually solving a problem, or are we creating a problem where there isn't one and then trying to solve it? This is what we are going to answer today, and I need your feedback down below in the comments. I want it all, and so does the startup company, so don't hold back. These guys are really awesome, and we want to give them some useful data to build from. So now let's see what's inside this box. Okay, so the first thing that you notice here is that the box is really well made, strong, and you can tell there's something expensive inside of here, which we'll get to towards the end of the video. They give you this nice little tabby here that you can pull, and that opens up the box. So no cutting, no tools required, and there you have it. There is your sexy buttons. And if you're new to Tesla, these stand for the four main models that Tesla has. You have your Model S, your Model 3, your Model X, and your Model Y, spelling out sexy. Good old Elon. So we take this out of the box. They're all mounted in there nicely. On the back is an adhesive that you're going to use to stick wherever you really want them. And we'll get to assigning those later on in the video. Underneath of there, you have a couple different things. You have your adapter or splitter or whatever you want to call this. Basically what you're going to do, and we'll take a look at this on the install, is you're going to plug this in your computer, your car, and then plug the wire that was plugged into the computer, your car, into this side, and it basically does this like a relay. It just passes and adds itself right into the computer system. And then you have this right here, which is the commander. This is what controls and talks to all of the different buttons. And then in the box, you also have this little plastic tool used for installation, and we'll get to all that, like I said, in a minute. Now, these also do come in white as well, so if you don't like the black or you have the white interior, you can certainly go with that option, and we'll probably see some other colors come out in the future as well. So it's pretty simple, not a lot of complicated stuff for us to install, which for my installs is a huge sigh of relief. So let's go have some fun with setting these things up, and then we'll come back here and talk about all the stats and all the other boring stuff that we have to cover. Now first with the install. Now you've all seen me do headstands in my passenger seat trying to plug stuff into my computer that is underneath of the dash, and thankfully this is not a requirement this time. All you have to do is take the plastic tool included in the box, pop off the cover behind your center console, and put in the provided splitter thingy. And yes, that is my technical term for that. Connect that to the command module, close it back up, and you're all done. And for those of you wondering if this will mess with your warranty, potentially voiding it, the answer is no. It's a plug and play thing, and plug and play modifications don't have any effect on your car's warranty. This is because you can just simply unplug it, put it right back to the factory, and you're good to go. I've taken my car with tons of modifications back to Tesla, and they've worked on it every time without any issue. The only issue you come into with stuff like that is that the exact item that broke was one that you messed with yourself, such as putting on a different screen or something like that. Well, then the screen's not going to be covered. Or maybe you spliced into a wire and now that wire has an issue. Well, you actually messed with the original, so now that wire itself is not covered. It would never void the rest of the car. So before we go out there and I show you guys what I end up doing with these buttons, let's go over some popular ideas to get your brain thinking while watching this nice button montage. You can mute your music, control interior lights, open the glove box, apply parking brake, hazard lights, unlock charging port, which is one of my favorites, increase and decrease music volume. You can fold mirrors for people who live in tight garages and need to fold them before you enter. You can change the acceleration mode, like putting it into chill mode, control regen braking up or down. The difference there is that right now it's either 50% or 100%, whereas with these you'll be able to do a lot smaller increments in changing the regenerative modes. And you can also put it in sport mode. Some popular ideas for placement are below your charging pad, behind your steering wheel, behind your screen, under your steering wheel, and well, really anywhere. Okay, now that we've installed it, let's take a look at the app and get these things all set up. So first we're gonna hit connect. I'm assuming that is it. So once you come in here, you have your firmware update, which they do send over the air updates to these, which update, the app and buttons or whatever. And then they have the commander settings. We'll do the firmware update another time. So commander settings, what's inside there is you just have some controls. What this allows you to do, and this is part of the commander, and this is actually nothing to do with the buttons themselves, is the front left handle. If you press down halfway and kind of hold with the front left, I'm assuming that means the driver's side, then it will open up the front. And you can also open up the charge port by press and holding halfway open the rear door handle in the back. So how you connect these buttons then is if we press the plus right here, it says press and hold the button until it connects. We're gonna press and hold. There you go, it says success, and the button flashes while it's doing it. Right now it's set on folding mirrors. So now if you tap on the button, it's gonna give you a whole bunch of different options here. So on the top here, you can see you got media, and then you got all these subcategories down below it. Volume up, volume down, next song, previous songs. You got your media controls. You got acceleration right here. You can go to chill or sport mode right there, which is kind of a fun thing. You have a lot of control on your regenerative braking, which is actually pretty awesome. You can go anywhere from 0% up by 25% increments all the way up to 100%, which is standard, or you can go down. So you can have one button moving it up, one button moving it down for 25% each. You have an open unlock charge port option. You have open glove box, open trunk, open front, so you can place those wherever you feel is the most necessary. And I got some ideas with that. And now you got this new one called horn honk, which is a short honk or a long honk. Under others, we have voice command, we have hazard lights, folding mirrors, parking brake, interior lights, and track mode, which only counts if you have a sport version, which I do not. We'll leave that where it's at right now, and we'll hit save. At the very top, you have the dashboard, which we'll take a look at a little bit later, but when you tap on it, it goes into full screen mode, which you can see is actually pretty cool. It's got your max speed, it's got your autopilot settings on there, which it is blue right now when I'm not in autopilot, so I'm not quite sure if that should be blue. It has the gear you're in, it says drive, although I'm not in drive. Let's just see, oh, I can't go anywhere, my car's plugged in. But it tells you the kilowatt power, your torque, your speed, and all that. I wonder if you can change this to miles per hour. Nothing on the dashboard is touchable, so this is just a display, it's not interactive. You can connect 8 buttons to your car, and I'm sure I'll end up using all of them. So now let's go out and try out this little dash here and see if this actually does work. Right now when I look at it, I can see that it says that I'm on brake and not park. It shows that autopilot is on and my max speed is set to 120. So I'm assuming that because this is in beta that a lot of these functions just simply aren't working yet. So let's just see what happens as we go. We do see something starting to change and move here. So let's take a look. So the speedometer seems to be quite accurate, no issues with that part of it. And I do like the illumination there that it has on the speed dial. That looks pretty slick. Now here it shows you on the far right side, the torque in NM, I think that was Newton meters. And I'm not sure what exactly that means because I'm not a freaking scientist. I do wish I could change it to miles per hour. I probably can somewhere, I just haven't found it. Okay, so I've been playing with these now for a couple hours, and here's where I ended up putting them. And of course, I reserve the right to change these at any time. So what I decided to go with was I put them all along the front here, right in front of my cup holder. Now these are just 4 of the 8. I'll show you what I'm gonna do with the others. The S, I put it on sport mode. So you'd be driving and you wanna feel a little bit more sporty. That's pretty sexy, put that as the S. Next, number 3, I put to open up the trunk. Oftentimes I'm sitting here playing games and my wife comes back from the store carrying a bunch of groceries, and why not be the gentleman and press the button and open it up for her. Next is the folding mirrors, so being able to just fold the mirrors, and I might change this one, but for now, that's what it's gonna stay at. Oftentimes when you go into a parking lot, it's nice to fold those down so no one else clips them. And then Y is the interior lights. Driving down the road at night, my kids need to see something in the back, press that button, turns them on, press them again, turns them off. Okay, now I thought this one was actually really cool. So in the morning time, one of the biggest pains is I come out to my car and I have to slide, open up the Tesla app, and then I have to hit unlock charge port, open charge port to charge it or take out my wand. But with these buttons, it makes this a whole lot easier. Watch this. What I did is I took and put one of the buttons right here on my charging box inside my garage where my car usually parks when we're not under construction. And now when I press the button, it opens and closes right here. So all I have to do is grab the wand, put it in. The other 2 buttons I placed out here on the back of the steering wheel, I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna put those for yet. Maybe I'll make that the sport mode button, I'm not sure. But there's one on both sides and I'll find a good use for them. So let's dive into the technicals of these buttons. These run on a Bluetooth 5.0. They have a 2-year battery life, and that CR2032 battery is replaceable. They have a range of 10 meters or 32 feet, and they are made out of plastic. They are currently available for the 2018 Model 3 or newer, as well as the 2019 Model Y or newer, and they're planning on adding other models to that eventually. So right now until November 18, 2021, as a part of the pre-order, you can pick these up for 30% off at $237.99 plus tax, as well as apply my discount code found below in the description. After November 18th, expect the price to go back up. Keep in mind, like so many other companies, this company is dealing with a chip shortage, so after the initial pre-orders all get sent out, there could be a little delay in your order getting fulfilled. So if you have found this video fun or entertaining, please give it a thumbs up. The YouTube algorithm looks for videos where people are interacting, and it will help send the video out to people who are looking for it. I want to also remind you to leave a comment down below and share your thoughts with myself as well as Enhance. Thanks for continuing to come back and put up with all my blabbling, and I'll see you guys on the next one.